Hey guys, how's it going? And happy Saturday. I hope y'all are doing good. Well, I was too sick to do the live stream last week, and I feel okay, but I'm still congested with my nose, and I might even cough a little bit. But I didn't want to go 3 weeks without hanging out with you all. And we do have breaking news. So I don't know a lot about this yet. I was literally out doing a mulch job today and found out about it when I was driving back to my shop. So some of you may be up on what's going on, but look, shots fired near Trump. He was evacuated. Reportedly, the shooter's down with the White House Correspondents' Dinner. So Trump is actually speaking live right now. He just started like 30 seconds ago, so we're not too far behind. How about we start off with me sharing this? We'll listen to Trump talk, and then I'm going to give my thoughts about this because I do have thoughts about this. And, well, I just think I have a feeling with the way things are going to go. And for people like me and people like you, that it's almost gotten to the point where we don't even belong in our own country anymore. Our country's rejecting us. They're treading on the Second Amendment. We need it more than ever. And yeah, this country's just kind of going to hell in so many ways. And I think a lot of you know that. So that's kind of a little bit of where my mind's at. Not even knowing all the details. Just like, yeah, of course. Of course. We bring the third world in our country. We're becoming third world. There's all these crazy people. Nobody knows how to address mental health. They just want to go after guns. So I am going to play Trump talking about this from the White House. I'm going to pull this up here right now. And let's hear what old Trump has to say. Because what, he's been shot at like 3 times in the past 2 years? I mean, just think about that. Is this just a lone wolf? Is there another country behind this? I don't know. You decide. Will they give us the truth in the news? What do you think? Yeah, the whole Constitution. I agree, Garen. All right, I'm going to play this because we're just a minute behind, but this is virtually real time. We'll watch it together.
Incredibly acted upon by Secret Service and law enforcement, and this was an event
Let me know if you guys
dedicated
can hear
to
Trump.
freedom of speech that was supposed to bring together members of both parties with members of the press, and in a certain way it did, because the fact that they just unified, I saw a room that was just totally unified. It was in one way a very beautiful thing to see. A man charged a security checkpoint armed with multiple weapons, and he was taken down by some very brave members of Secret Service, and they acted very quickly and have just released, for purposes of transparency, clarity, I've ordered it to be put out. You probably have it by now, put out on Truth and put out on many other platforms. A tape showing the violence of this thug that attacked our Constitution, and also showing how quickly Secret Service and law enforcement acted on our country's behalf. Really did a great job. One officer was shot, but saved by the fact that he was wearing obviously a very good bulletproof vest. He was shot from very close distance with a very powerful gun, and the vest did the job. I just spoke to the officer, and he's doing great. He's in great shape. He is has very high spirits, and we told him we love him and respect him, and he's a very proud guy. He's very proud of what he does, Secret Service agent. And we looked at all of the conditions that took place tonight, and I will say, it's not a particularly secure building, and I didn't want to say this, but this is why we have to have all of the attributes of what we're planning at the White House. It's actually a larger room, and it's much more secure. It's drone proof, it's bulletproof glass. We need the ballroom. That's why Secret Service, that's why the military are demanding it. They've wanted the ballroom for 150 years for lots of different reasons, but today's a little bit different because today We need levels of security that probably nobody's ever seen before.
The security state.
But everyone owes a tremendous debt of gratitude to the courage of law enforcement, the law enforcement, and working with the DC police. And we just spoke with the mayor. And when we're finished, the police chief is going to take over and discuss it also from their viewpoint. But they also performed exactly as they were supposed to. And you see the attacker in different positions, but you also see the attacker totally subdued and under control. So, as you know, this is not the first time in the past couple of years that our republic has been attacked by a would-be assassin who sought to kill. In Butler, Pennsylvania, less than 2 years ago, you all know that story. And in Palm Beach, Florida, a few months after that, we came close. We really had, again, we had some great work done by law enforcement. But in light of this evening's events, I ask that all Americans recommit with their hearts in resolving our difference peacefully. We have to resolve our differences. I will say, you had Republicans, Democrats, independents, conservatives, liberals, and progressives. Those words are interchangeable, perhaps, but maybe they're not. But yet everybody in that room, big crowd, record-setting crowd. There was a record-setting.
Is the other side going to be peaceful, though?
And there was a tremendous amount of love and coming together. I watched, and I was very, very impressed.
Are communists peaceful?
But First Lady and I were taken very well care of, very quickly rushed off the stage. Vice President J.D. Vance, who's here, was likewise beautifully done. He was just saying how quickly everybody acted, law enforcement, Secret Service in particular in this case, but law enforcement. Marco had the same thing. Pete was there. Pete didn't want any help. He didn't want anybody to help. He doesn't want anybody to help him, but he did get some, didn't you? And I think you also said that it was very impressive. So with that, I'd like to ask Todd Blanche to come up, say a few words, and tell you it's already underway. The man has been captured. They're going to his apartment. I guess he lives in California, and he's a sick person, a very sick person. And we don't want things like this to happen. I think it's very important that I say, though, and I told the representatives of the evening, they did such a beautiful job. It was such a beautiful evening. And again, they're talking about free speech in our Constitution. That's what it's all about, not just White House correspondence. It was really based on free speech in our Constitution. But I said very importantly that we'll do it again within the next 30 days, and we'll make it bigger and better and even nicer. So I just want to thank everybody that was involved. I also want to thank the press, the media. You've been very responsible in your coverage. I will say I've been seeing what's been out. You've been very responsible. So Todd Blanche, I'd like to say a few words, and then we're going to have cash. And then you're going to go on. We can ask, I guess we can take a couple of questions. I want to thank the First Lady that was a rather traumatic experience for her. There was a lot of action taking place up there very quickly. But again, the response time was really incredible. And we're going to reschedule. We're going to do it again. We're not going to let anybody take over our society. We're not going to cancel things out because we can't do that. We wanted to stay tonight. I will tell you, I fought like hell to stay. But it was protocol. They said, please, sir, because they didn't know there was a lot of action going on, and they didn't know, could there be probably a lone shooter, but we'll find out. We'll find out very quickly. They have it very well under control. So I want to thank everybody very much. And Todd Blanche, please.
Thank you very much, Mr. President. Tonight you saw the very worst and the very best of this country. You saw the very worst by the actions of that coward that the president just talked about. But you also saw the very best because you saw law enforcement do exactly what they're supposed to do. And you'll see the videos come out, I expect, very shortly, and you'll see law enforcement do exactly what we want them to do. And so I echo what what President Trump just said, that we are extraordinarily grateful and appreciative of the men and women of law enforcement that did their jobs tonight, including one who was injured. This investigation is ongoing. I expect you will see charges filed shortly. The charges should be self-evident given the conduct, but as you'll hear, there will be multiple charges surrounding the shooting, around the possession of firearms, and anything else that we can get on this guy. The investigation is obviously ongoing and just started. There is federal law enforcement already working on search warrants and doing their job, and I don't want to get ahead of them and don't want to get ahead of the work that they're doing even as we speak. Director Patel and I were just on the crime scene a short while ago, and everybody in this room should rest assured that the Metropolitan Police Department, the FBI, Secret Service, everybody's on the scene doing their job. I know that the police chief is going to give an update from the scene as soon as we're finished here, and I obviously will lead the details of what they have learned to him. But in the meantime, I just want to thank everybody in this room for the courage, and I want to thank President Trump for his words, and I promise you, justice will be served. Thank you, Dr. Patel.
Thank you,
We
General.
haven't
Thank
talked
you, Mr.
about gun
President.
control yet.
The President's absolutely right. You saw the best resolve of American law enforcement because you, Mr. President, inspire them 24/7, 365. You give them the resources that they need, and they know that you have their back. And that is a changing dynamic in this country. And that's why you saw brave Secret Service agents respond immediately, swiftly, subdue and take down the suspect and safeguard the lives of thousands of individuals at that hotel. Thanks to our interagency partnership with the Department of Homeland Security and the Metropolitan Police Department, the FBI was rapidly deployed onto the scene, took over the evidence response unit, is examining all the ballistics that were found on scene to include the long gun and the shell casings. We are conducting witness interviews as we speak. You will hear from our team on the scene there with the mayor and the head of the FBI field division there.
Did he say long
But please
gun?
know what the Attorney General has just said reigns no truer. You saw the very best of America tonight. The very best unite us at a time of uncertainty because we have leadership here with the president, the vice president that backs law enforcement, and the men and women that I shook their hands on the scene today could not have been prouder to show up on scene. And as the Attorney General said, make no mistake, we are conducting witness interviews. If you have any information whatsoever related to this event, 1-800-CALL-FBI, 1-800-CALL-FBI. No piece of information is too small. No piece of information is inadequate. We will evaluate it all. We will also be conducting interviews of those that were there. And if any of those individuals have information, please come forward to law enforcement or the FBI or the Metropolitan Police Department. We will be examining this individual's background thoroughly. That process has already started. And we are going to ensure that he was either a lone wolf actor or anyone else that was responsible. We will analyze all evidence immediately to make sure that we safeguard this country.
I doubt
Mr.
it.
President, Mr. Vice President, thank you for your leadership. Attorney General and Homeland Secretary Merlin, thank you for your partnership in law enforcement.
Thank you.
Do you think these people are going to
Okay,
keep
we'll
you
do a
safe?
couple and then we go to the chief. Madam Chairman, I just want to say you did a fantastic job. What a beautiful evening, and we're going to reschedule. Okay. And after that, it's very tough for her to ask a killer question, right? But you have done a fantastic job. Please.
Mr. President, I appreciate it. As you mentioned, it all happened so quickly.
Yeah.
And I wonder, especially because unfortunately you have experience with these sorts of threats. In that moment, when you realized there was a threat and service agents were telling us to get down, can you describe what was going through your mind, how you were feeling in that moment?
That's a very good question, actually. It's always shocking when something like this happens. Happened to me a little bit, and that never changes. The fact we were sitting right next to each other, First Lady on my right, and I heard a noise and sort of thought it was a tray. I thought it was a tray going down. I've heard that many times, and it was a pretty loud noise. And it was from quite far away. He hadn't breached the area at all. They really got him. But so it was quite far away, but it was a gun. And some people really understood that pretty quickly. Other people didn't. I was watching to see what was happening. Probably should have gone down even faster. Melania was very cognizant, I think, of what happened. I think she knew immediately what happened. She was saying, that's a bad noise. And we were whisked away along with other people, but we were really whisked away. And again, the performance of the Secret Service. And
Real quick, guys, I'm looking at the chat here, and that's kind of what I thought. He's saying that it's been reported that the shooter was killed. I thought I heard Trump pretty clearly and some of the other guys in the press conference saying he's captured and they currently have him like he's alive. So, again, with breaking news, we're going to hear different reports, but I'm not sure. I'm hearing both things. But, again, this is the live feed from the White House. So, let me know what you guys are hearing. Is he captured and alive, which I think we just heard, but I've seen several reports saying that they took out the shooter. So I don't know.
And the police, all of the law enforcement, I thought was really good. So it was very quick. There wasn't a lot of time to be thinking because it was a matter of seconds before we were out the door and gone into an area. We very much, and you wanted to too, we very much wanted to continue it because I don't like to let these sick people, these thugs, these horrible, horrible people change the fabric of our life, change the course of what we do. So we held out. You were there. We held out right till the end, but they didn't want to take a chance. And I understand there was protocol, but we're going to be doing one hopefully within the next 30 days or sooner. And I am ready, willing, and able. And I was all set to really rip it. And I said to my people, this would be the most inappropriate speech ever made if I said what. So I'll have to save it. I don't know if I could ever.
Yeah, guys, we'll have to wait for the dust to settle. Some of you are saying he is still alive. I'm just hearing mixed reports.
Be as rough as I was going to be tonight. I think I'm going to be probably very nice. I'll be very boring the next time, but we're going to have a great event. And you did a fantastic job. Thank you very much. Peter, go ahead.
Thank you, President Trump. There's a report in the New York Post that this assailant assembled his weapon somewhere on site at the hotel. What do you think about that? And I ask respectfully, why do you think this keeps happening to you?
Well, you know, I've studied assassinations, and I must tell you, the most impactful people, the people that do the most, you take a look at the people, Abraham Lincoln. I mean, you go through the people that have gone through this where they got them. But the people that do the most, the people that make the biggest impact, they're the ones that they go after. They don't go after the ones that don't do much because they like it that way.
Remember the whole Charlie Kirk? Supposedly he assembled the weapon on the roof too. I mean, it could just be a coincidence, but some of this is starting to sound a little bit familiar from what I'm hearing. I don't know.
And when you look at the people that have either, whether it was an attempt or a successful attempt, they're very impactful people. Just take a look at the names here, the big names. And I hate to say I'm honored by that, but I've done a lot. We've done a lot. We've taken this country, and we were a laughing stock for years, and now we're the hottest country anywhere in the world. We've changed this country, and there are a lot of people that are not happy about that. So I think that's the answer, Peter.
Good to see you all in the live chat tonight, by the way. I took a week off. Good to see you guys again. So don't forget to hit the thumbs up, and I'm reading the chat as we're listening to the president right now.
Your team for a while rethought outdoor events.
Yeah.
Do you think that you now need to rethink
No.
indoor
Well,
events?
but then you just don't do events. No, I can't do that. I have to, it is what it is. We have to do it. The room was very, very secure. He charged from 50 yards away. So he was very far away from the room.
And what do you think when you saw the video of how fast he was running?
He was moving. He was really moving. And the reaction time was great. Boy, those guys, they had their guns drawn. Literally, by the time he was there, they were shooting.
That's right.
I thought they were very impressive. And if I didn't, I'd let you know. I'm not going to be, I would not stand for that. No, I thought they were very impressive.
Thank you, President Trump, and thank you for updating us on the
Thank you.
suspect earlier. Were you aware of any threats? Was your team aware of any threats beforehand? And do you believe you were the target of this tonight?
I guess. I mean, these people they're crazy. They're crazy. And, you never know. It was very far away from me. I had to go through a lot. We had resources all over. We had resources sitting at tables, literally in disguise, sitting maybe at your table. Who knows? But we had.
I'm wondering the orientation of this so-called shooter. If you guys know what I mean, what's that going to end up being?
we had people all over the room, so he had a long way to go. That was really a first line of defense, and they got him. And they really, they acted incredibly. No, we've had no, there was no notification. We had no idea. Go
Do you
ahead,
know
Kevin.
any political motivations from this?
Well, you never know. Now, we'll be able to tell you that maybe by tomorrow or the next day. He's in custody, and they're asking him a lot of questions. I guess they're going over, Todd, and they're already at his apartment. He lives in California.
Yes, sir.
And they'll be
California.
They'll be able to tell you. Thank you, Kate.
President Trump, did the suspect say anything, or was he wearing anything that would allege some type of motive here?
No, I mean, he was a guy who looked pretty evil when he was down. They had him down. He was fighting hard. He was in my opinion, a sick person. Who would do that but a sick person? But I think you're going to find everything about him. No reason to talk about it now. But tomorrow at this time, long before this time, you're going to know a lot of things about him. They seem to think he was a lone wolf, and I feel that too.
Are you concerned about U.S. Secret Service protection ability? We saw several of the detailees take minutes to be escorted out the room.
No, they acted very quickly. No, I was very impressed by Secret Service. I mean, I'm the one, and Mark Wayne, you would agree with that, I think. I'm the one that would complain. You don't have to complain for me. I would be complaining. I'd be up here right now saying they didn't do their job. Oh, believe me, because, it's my life. And I want to live because I want to make this country great. That's why I want to live. But when you're impactful, they go after you. When you're not impactful, they leave you alone. Okay, a couple of more. Go ahead, please.
Is there any indication that this shooting could have been linked to the war in Iran?
I don't think so, but you never know. We're going to know a lot. We have the best people in the world working on it, and we're going to know a lot. Please.
I was actually kind of wondering the same thing. I mean, yeah, I'll just leave it at that for right now. I mean, I couldn't help but to think to myself, is this somebody that's maybe sympathetic to one side? Is this just somebody that's after Trump? Is this possibly an agent provocateur? I mean, look, guys, you have to ask these questions nowadays. You have to think about this because a lot of things are not as they seem. I'll just say that. And I do agree right now that this country is a very dangerous place. Okay? This world's a very dangerous place. We need our guns. Okay? The right to keep and bear is granted by God. Okay? And protected by the United States more than ever. And you look at what's going on in Virginia right now. You look at what's going on in so many states. And the fact that the Republicans have the so-called trifecta right now with the president, the U.S. House, the U.S. Senate. And look, they're a lot less worse than the Biden administration. It's true. But they haven't repealed every gun control law either. And they're not gonna. So there's that. Haven't heard anyone here call for gun control yet during this press release, and I hope they don't, but we'll just have to see.
Mr. President, there's you as well as some of us who have covered Butler experienced another horrific day 2 years ago.
Yeah.
What felt similar? You had the First Lady with you today. What felt different? And you have another 2+ years in office. Are you concerned about something like this happening?
Well, I
again?
can't be concerned. I can only get great people. They did the job, in my opinion, a much better job than Butler. Butler had one weak spot that we all know about. Somebody should have been up there. But even Butler, we had our sniper on our side within 4.2 seconds from a distance of about 400 yards, one shot, and he was gone.
Tater Dot. Yeah, I would have gone live earlier. I got live as soon as I could. At 9:30, I was just leaving a job site. I was out spreading mulch today and planting a bunch of ground cover. It's called Myrtle. So I got on as soon as I could. But we are listening to the official source right now, guys. So you're listening to this in real time. I'm only pausing it here and there. This is the live press conference. And look, I do this channel when I can, and I want to thank all of you guys for the many ways you help support the channel because I am not a professional YouTuber. I like to do this. I do it as much as I can, but hey, it's tough to feed your family right now. So I'm out working and landscaping and doing as much work as I can. And I would have loved to have gone live right when this happened. I'm just not sitting by my computer like some people all the time. So, but it's good to see you guys right now, even though it is late. But seriously, thank you to all my channel members, those who leave super chats, Patreon supporters, local supporters. We'll be doing a live stream there very soon. So I do appreciate you guys, so we can do what we can.
And if he didn't do it now, you know, he's David. His name was David. I say, hello, David, every time I see him. David, I like you very much, David. But think of that. Now, if he doesn't hit him, and he hit him right between the eyes from 400 yards without any notice, nobody knew. He heard a sound. He looked over, and there was actually a tree that was somewhat in his way. You know the story very well. And he aimed, he fired. And if he didn't do that, beyond me, you would have had a lot more people killed. We lost one great person and 2 people very badly hurt. They're okay now. But no, that was so in a sense, you know, it was pretty amazing the job they did. But they did have that one weak spot. As you know, they should have had that covered. Tonight they had everything covered very quickly, and he was fast. He was running full blast, and they got him before they got any further. I was very far away. You know, he hadn't anywhere close to breach the doors of the ballroom.
Wow.
The ballroom was sealed, and everybody in there. That's why once those doors opened, they didn't want to do tonight. If the doors weren't opened, we could have probably done it tonight. But I think we're much better off rescheduling. Yeah, please.
I just saw a comment that's interesting here, and I want you guys to think about this, okay? Let's see here. Tater Dot said, my take is you don't want the Dems, Republicans, and media out together for a friendly evening. The last thing the powers that be want is people getting along. Think about that, guys. If you're watching on replay, shout out to the replay crew. Put it in the comments. If you're in the live chat, think about what he said there. And I thought about this a lot. It's kind of like the thing where you really kind of can't get along with the other side. Look, I'm not a Democrat. I'm not a Republican. Those who know me know that, okay? I'm very disenchanted with the political system, to say the least. But, like, just on a human level, if there was a night where people were just kind of getting along and having a good time and telling jokes, like, I guess, you know, you'll take what you can get sometimes. And just on its face, okay? Trust me. I know everything's fake and gay. Like, I totally get it, guys. I'm very sinister, actually, about all this. But just on its face, sounds like a good thing if people could have a good time together for once. Like, the media, the Republicans, the Democrats, you know, all this chaos. And then there's a shooting during it. I don't know. I want to know what you guys think about this. It's definitely thought-provoking. You know what I'm saying, guys? It's just, I don't know. What's up, DB Cooper? Nice to see you in the chat. Let's listen to the president again here.
Mr. President, for you and perhaps law enforcement as well, what is the level of confidence that this was a lone actor, and has the suspect made any statements to police while in custody?
Yeah, I think it's just it's not my profession. We have great professionals.
Hey, JJ, how you doing, man?
That have been working with us. My impression is he was a lone wolf.
What's up, Dale?
Whack job. These are crazy people. And they have to be dealt with. We had that in the second attempt.
Dale and Dale,
you know,
2 Dales in the chat
he's
tonight.
spending life in prison because if you let him out, they'll probably, you know, if he serves 10 years or 15 years, you let him out, he'll probably try it again with somebody else. They're sick people. We have a lot of sick people. But you're going to know, I think very shortly, you're going to know, Todd, a lot about him. You're going to know a lot about him. Yeah, a couple of more.
I want to know more, too.
Yeah, please, go ahead.
Are you concerned about political violence? This could be politically
All
motivated.
violence. I'm concerned about everything. Look, but I can't be so concerned that you can't function. No, I'm here. It's a dangerous profession. You know, I tell the story, race car drivers, I think it's very dangerous. So if you take 1% and then take about 10% of 1%, just to break it down very easily.
Hey, West
they
Virginia.
die. So much less than 1%, 10% of 1%. I think bull riding is very dangerous. If you take about the same 10% of 1%.
West Virginia is a beautiful state, guys. I'm just saying, if you guys driven through it, many beautiful states. West Virginia is a really beautiful state. Hey, I'm going to say this about Trump, guys. You just have to call a spade a spade. And I'm like a critic too. Again, I'm totally disenchanted with all these political parties at this point. Trump is tough as far as getting shot at like many, many times. Does anyone even have a count in the chat? How many times has he been shot at? Like, so I do have to give the old bird that. He is tough. I guarantee you he's been shot at more than any of us, probably. Now, if you're in the military, if you're a policeman, maybe not. But for me, like, I've not been shot at. So I'm just gonna say he's kind of tough. I mean, I will give him that to get shot at that many times. You know what I'm saying?
Much less than 1%. But if you take presidents, it's 5.8%. And about 8% are shot at. So nobody told me this was such a dangerous profession. If Marco would have told me, maybe I wouldn't have run. Maybe I would have said, I'll take a pass. No, it's a dangerous profession, but I don't view it that way. Look, I'm here to do a job. As part of the job.
What's up, political? I've been hit by Spalding too, actually, from my own rounds that I was sending downrange. Once from somebody else I was shooting with. So there is that. But like, this is crazy, dude. Like, a lot of people have tried to shoot this president. Let's just say that, you know. Look, I'm all about we the people, man. We just need to coalesce around the Second Amendment, the Constitution, okay? It's just, let's listen to the
president. It is a dangerous, I can't imagine that there's any profession that's more dangerous. But I love the country and I'm very proud. I'm very proud of the job we've done. You see what's happened. We have a great country.
What's up, JR?
I think the most successful, the hottest country anywhere in the world. This happened over a period of just a year. And we're going to do great things. But with that come risks. There's no question about it. Yeah.
To that end, I mean, there's been so much political violence, not just aimed at yourself, but at other members of Congress, state house speakers, you name it. Is that just the cost of doing business to do politics in America anymore?
Yeah. Well,
what does that say about our country?
Too. Yeah, we're not the only country. You look at this great violence with all countries. I was talking to.
What's to say about this country, man? We're losing our country quick. You know, I get people mad when I say this, but we got to call a spade a spade. Like, there's a lot of people that shouldn't be here. There's a lot of people that don't want to be here. And there's a lot of people that have been here their whole life that are just crappy Americans that hate the Constitution. So I hate this crap, but am I surprised? No, I'm not surprised at all, actually. Like this is how surprised I am. Like, this much, zero. I mean, it's kind of almost to be expected when you put the ingredients together and you bake the cake and it comes out a certain way. It's like, well, yeah, this is pretty much what happens when it gets to this point. Not saying it's okay. I'm not saying it's okay at all. Don't mistake what I'm saying here. I'm just not surprised.
Somebody from another country today, and they have numerous assassinations of political figures all over the world. You look at South America, it's like some of the numbers are just horrific. It's dangerous. It's dangerous stuff, whether it's here or someplace else. No country is immune. No country. Good question.
At this point?
Well, probably
fun to learn.
If I decided to just not do much, if I let everybody rip us off and take advantage of us. Look, we're leading the world in trade now. We're leading the world in the military. We're the greatest military in the world. I rebuilt it in my first term, and now we use it because we have no choice. We can't let, as an example, Iran, we can't let them get a nuclear weapon. Everything will be peanuts compared to that if they ever were given a nuclear weapon, and they'd use it too. Marco and I were talking about it today. They would use it without even hesitation. We can't do that. It was a shame. I said, oh boy, look at the numbers. We just broke 50,000 in the Dow. We just broke 7,000 in the S&P. They said we couldn't do it in 7 years, in 5 years, 4 years. They were saying maybe in 5 or 6 years. And we did it in 1 year. And I called everybody together. I called all of these people and others, and I said, we have to take a little journey. I say to do this. We just had the great number. We just broke 50,000. Wasn't supposed to happen during my term. wasn't reachable. Did it in 1 year. And I said, we're going to have to make a journey to Iran. They're going to have a nuclear weapon if we don't do it. We had the B-2 bombers take them out. I terminated in the first term the Obama agreement, the Iran nuclear agreement, which was a disaster. That was a road to a nuclear
What's up,
weapon.
Killer
They would've
Cam
used
Fu?
it. They would have used it 100%.
Nice to see you, man.
So, you know, when you do things like that, you become a target. If I wasn't doing that, I guess I'd be a lot less of a target. But I'm honored to be. Okay, one more question.
Guys, I'm still a little bit sick getting over it. Whatever the heck I caught, man, it wasn't a regular cold. Probably the engineered type, if you know what I mean.
Go ahead. Yeah, go ahead.
Thank you, President Trump. Thank you, President Trump. Do you know how the gun was brought into the hotel? And also, how does this event impact you as the leader of our country? Do you think it will change your
I
leadership?
like not to think about it. I lead a pretty normal life, considering it's a dangerous life. I think I handle it as well as it can be handled. I think a lot of other people, you read stories where they become basket cases. To be honest with you, I'm not a basket case. I really take it as it is. I do it for the country. I'm not doing it for any other reason. I have a first lady who's doing a terrific job. She loves the country.
What's happening, Richard? Nice
And,
to see you, man.
She recognizes it better than anybody. She's told me numerous times. She said, "You are in a dangerous
Hey,
job."
Martin. Nice to see
But
you.
that goes along with her too. I mean, it's dangerous for her too. We sat there tonight. We heard that noise, and it was either a tray or a bullet.
Thanks, Marco.
I was hoping it was a tray.
Thanks,
but
man.
It wasn't. And again, we had some very brave people doing a great job, so we're very proud of them and happy.
Hey,
with them.
Soli.
I just want to thank everybody.
Nice to
They
see
will be
you.
able to give you all that information as to the names and everything else. I think we released the names already. Most of you would have it, but his name. We appreciate it. I see so many tuxedos and beautiful dresses. It was a little different evening than we thought, but we're going to do it again, and we have a great chairman who we're so proud of, and we have to make it better. We'll make it safer, I guess, right? But we're going to make it even better. Okay, thank you very much. Thank you.
About how impactful this was. Can we hear from her about?
Well, honey, would you want to say something?
Okay.
Huh?
Right. Many of the people across the globe, in fact, are watching you. You demonstrated courageous leadership, and thank God you're alive. All of us are alive today. What is the message that you want to give to the world that this should change? What corrective measures can we take from here on?
Well, all you can do, look, I don't care how many people you have, how good they are. They can be the greatest people. You have the greatest security in history. If you have a whack job who's got a brain, but it's a little bit distorted or a lot distorted, they can make trouble. I would say, Pete, right? They can make trouble. Some of these people are of genius level IQ, and they're nuts. So it can be trouble. So you do absolutely the best. You get the best. We have the best people. Well, look, it was proven tonight. He started running from 50 yards, and he was fast. He was like a blur on tape. He was moving. It was very impressive the way they got him, because a lot of people would be looking and saying, it's like a weird feeling, and they would let him get through, but they didn't let him get through. They drew those guns so fast. They looked like Matt Dillon. They looked like somebody that knew what they were doing, and we really do. But it comes with the territory. And if you want to do a great job, I really believe that. And you take a look at what's happened to some of our greatest presidents, and it doesn't happen to people that don't do anything. And it's not going to deter me from winning the war in Iran. I don't know if that had anything to do with it. I really don't think so, based on what we know. But we're going to continue to do a great job. That's all I can do. Thank you very much. I'll see you tomorrow. Thank you. Thank you.
All right, guys, this was the official White House feed we just watched. So there you have the official statement from the president, the acting attorney general, FBI director. It says, thank you for joining. Well, I'm going to hang out and talk to you guys for a few more minutes. See what everybody's up to. Let me remove that. Says, I had this type of cold and was down for 2 weeks. Yeah, dude, it's not just like a regular cold. That's the thing. Now, I've been working like 70, almost 80 hours a week through it. It didn't take me down where I had like no energy. It's just like in the chest, in the nose. And look, guys, I know it's annoying. I've had some of my favorite channels in the past. It's just sometimes kind of sucks to listen to somebody who's sick and nasally. And so I do apologize. But I am feeling much better than I was like a week ago, okay? With all of the weather swings in Michigan and everything. Girl Carpenter, what's happening? Says, my wife just told me something just happened. Not sure what it says about me, but I was just thinking it was a false flag. Look, man, I get it, dude. Like, I thought the same thing. My mom was actually texting me. And I was driving my big, dump stake truck with a 16-foot trailer behind it. I'm not going to text and drive down like windy roads. I'm like, man, after I stopped, I'm like, oh, she's giving me an alert here. I definitely need to go live as soon as I can. I was thinking about doing the live stream tomorrow night because I really did not want to go 2 weeks without hanging out with you all on here. And then I'm like, no, this is breaking news. We need to talk about it. Was I an hour late? Sure. But we did start the stream right around the same time. But that's what I thought, man. At first, I'm like, that just sucks, doesn't it? That we live in a society now, in a world and in a country where the first thing you think is, all right, false flag, unless you can prove me wrong. And we still don't know all the details. Make no mistake. Now, there's things being reported. And I appreciate you guys that, we're not working past dark. Like, shout out to all the normal people that don't work till past dark. Look, I'm a landscaper. You have to do this. Make hay when the sun shines, right? But yeah, anybody that doesn't work too much that was able to watch this stuff before I went live, fill us in the chat. Glad to see you guys are getting along good in the chat tonight. Solely, that's the next thing. I'm surprised we didn't hear anything about that in the press conference. We didn't hear a blatant call for gun control by any reporter or the president. So we will see. But yeah, man, I mean, look, it's all over the country. Look at what's going on in Virginia right now. It's just, it's crazy. When I was going through, showing the president speak, I get it. It's the president, right? Whatever. There was like 70 people watching. It instantly went down to 48, which, that kind of says a lot, though. And it's getting late. I get it. But it's like, not as many people want to watch the guy whose channel it is talk, but YouTube's a weird place nowadays. YouTube's actually like going to heck, by the way. Have you guys noticed that? I mean, it's always has been, but they're deleting videos. They're doing this. They're doing that. This channel's been on strikes for a long time now. But it's not just that. Like, I don't know. There's just not as many people on YouTube anymore. Rumble, a bunch of that's fake. I've seen these guys where like their live stream says streamed yesterday, 35,000 views. And they've got like 20 thumbs ups and like 1 thumbs down and like 4 comments. It's like, come on. Now, in my opinion, Rumble or whoever's listening, it appears that a lot of the analytics on Rumble are super fake. For people that are streaming through the Rumble studio, it's like, come on, man. I've been doing this a long time. Okay. I do my streams on Rumble. And I might grind out 900 views. It might hit 1,000 views over like a week. You know what I'm saying? From people watching live and on replay. And then there's all of this like, bam, like you'll see these different guys. Some of them have, they're in the gun tuber or 2A, space, and they'll have their YouTube channel. And like when they're streaming live on YouTube, like 5 people are watching. But then they'll be on Rumble streaming and it'll say like 700 people watching. You go in the chat, there's like 10 people chatting. And then on replay, it'll say like 35,000 views. They've got like between 4 to 10 comments max, sometimes less than that. Like 20 thumbs ups. Trust me, it's impossible. Go back and look at my video library here if you want to, for an example. Because trust me, YouTube's not giving this channel anything extra. you don't get tens of thousands of views on a video in like 4 to 10 comments. It's literally impossible. Something's rotten in Denmark. But I get off in this tangent because look, everything's just fake and gay nowadays. You know, like literally, like Jesus is real. Like, you know, I'm a real person. You're a real person. I mean, Jesus is the way, the truth, and the life. So I'm not burned out on everything. Trust me. I'm focusing on the things that matter, which isn't really a whole lot if you think about it. I mean, it's a real lot, but most of the stuff going on just doesn't really matter. But almost everything in front of us is fake and gay at this point. Fun to Learn says, I'm just glad you're still here. Yeah, I'm here, man. Good to see you guys. What's up, Jay Fearless? I was watching SKS videos and missed all this. I've had that cold for 4 weeks. Difficult to rest instead of working. Dude, I hear you, man. This ain't like a regular cold, though. You know, with this kind of stuff, it's like, you wonder which lab it came from. And yeah, the Kong flu. What's up, Paul Bennett? Nice to see you, man. A channel member. I appreciate the support. Byron says, crazy times we're in. Well, ain't that the truth? Glad you're on the mend. Yeah, I hear you. I'm on the mend, okay? I'll say that. You can hear I'm not all the way there. He says, I own and operate my own property maintenance a few hours north of you. The spring rush isn't the time to be under the weather. You know what I mean. A lot of you guys know what I mean. Pretty much everybody I see in here, you guys are working people, or maybe you're older and retired now, but most of my viewers, for the most part, you guys have put your time in. You guys know what it's like. I mean, you have to nowadays. You have to work your butt off. I mean, I'm paying $5 a gallon for gas. If you live in Michigan, you guys know what I'm talking about, right? The governor of Michigan put an executive order where we're going to stay on winter fuel. Now, it already has 10% ethanol. Ethanol is garbage, especially for small engines. It's terrible. Don't let anybody fool you. Look, they say, well, it's renewable resources. Yeah, but here's the problem. You get worse gas mileage, so you're burning more fuel. Modern cars, they say, are made for it, but trust me, anything with a carburetor, and these engines are expensive too, like a 5 horsepower carbureted engine, like what's on my Skag Zero Turn, that's a couple, $2-3 grand, and that's if you know how to install it yourself. You know what I'm saying? And you know, these are expensive engines, and they don't like ethanol. It's garbage. Well, here's the problem. Winter fuel is not what you want, okay? You do not want that when the weather starts to warm up. We're going to stay on winter fuel, okay? Terrible. You want to have a vapor-locked engine, okay? You want to have detonation, pre-ignition, all this stuff, even way worse fuel economy. Look, a commercial lawnmower will burn more cutting wet, heavy grass than, like, a lot of cars do in an hour, if you know what I'm saying. I mean, or up there with cars. Like, I'll burn between 1 to 2 gallons an hour in this thing, so it adds up. Here's the problem. I ain't putting garbage winter gas in my machine. Runs like crap on it. Now, Trump put in an order that says coming up here the 1st of May, we're going to be able to go to E15 gas, so 15% ethanol. A lot of engines will tell you right in the owner's manual, or if you go to their website, your warranty's void. They're telling you it's going to run your engine and your warranty's void. Small engines, car engines that are older than they say early 2000s, it's still bad for any vehicle in my opinion, but you know. So I'm buying wreck fuel, $5 a gallon. Diesel fuel's $5.39. You just have to keep working harder and harder and harder. And, you know, I mean. And now auto playing something and won't pause. There you go. Sorry about that, guys. Literally, like I clicked stop on that stream like a while ago, and it's just like auto playing an ad. Right as I'm talking about how crazy YouTube is. No, they deleted a video. It's from 4 years ago. Now I'm getting in trouble now on here again because the video didn't violate the terms when I did it. But if they change the rules 5 years later, and now it violates the current rules, even though you recorded it and published it years ago, they still hit it. It's just insane. You guys are saying this. I'm multiples. What's up, Martin? Thanks for being a channel member. Reports are suggesting the gunman was Teacher of the Month for December from California. Man, I wouldn't be surprised. That's interesting. I mean, not surprising, though. Yeah, weak-minded and cowardly people at YouTube. Yeah. He came from California, so hard to see what gun control they would be able to come up with. That's the thing, man. The places that have the strictest gun control have the most crime. And our society is a polite society. And yet again, we have to keep reminding ourselves and remind others that the only thing that stopped this bad guy with a gun is a good guy with a gun. Every time, it never changes. That's the only thing that's constant. You don't sit there and have a polite conversation with somebody who's shooting you or others. It's just not how life works. You're not going to have a social worker just intervene and change the person's mind in the spur of the moment. No. And here's the other thing. The president has police around him, Secret Service, 24/7. You don't. You don't, do you? Do any of you guys? Well, I carry a gun because carrying a cop would just be too heavy, right? And when seconds matter, police are usually only minutes away. See, Trump talked about how fast this guy was running. If a guy that's running you that fast, you're not going to have time for police to take him out. You're already dead before you can even make the phone call. That's why when seconds matter, police are usually only minutes away, and you're your own first responder. That's why I want to see as many good people as possible carrying a gun. Because good people with guns stop bad people with guns. And there's many nice people out there, many beautiful people out there. And we need good people, meaning, good by our standards. I believe Jesus is the only one that's truly good, but you guys know what I mean by that. I'm using good in the generic sense. We need more good people in this country. And we need good people raising beautiful children and good families. We don't need to be running around afraid of our own shadow at all times. We can't live in fear of these people. We need to live our lives, be grateful for every day, and we need to be able to protect ourselves. And the more dangerous it keeps coming, the more, I'm just saying the other side, because, I mean, when I say the other side, I mean like not people like me and people like you, but the other side keeps coming after our guns more and more. California has almost every gun control you can think about. And if the reports we're getting are true, sure didn't stop this. It's never, ever going to stop this, though. You guys know that. But we need to be reminded of that. We need to talk about this. Guns and guava. Yeah, in a press conference, Trump said they shot him in between the eyes. But in the photos released, he was not shot in the head. He looked handcuffed on the ground. So I'm confused. No, I hear you, man. That's why I was saying that earlier. Like, I was out working till after dark. I'm trying to catch up to this. I just want to do this live stream so we could listen to the press conference and talk together, which I'm enjoying doing right now. There's going to be some fake reports when these things happen, right? So both can't be true. I agree. Either side might not push gun control from this. They both benefit. It fades away. That may be true. I hope it's true. But you look at the state of Virginia right now, all the gun control that they're passing quickly. You look at what passed in Michigan just a couple of years ago. I think they're looking to try to take the House back, the Democrats. They could end up with a Democrat trifecta again soon. And there's a whole list. There's just dozens. I've been working too much, guys. I'm sorry. Let me know in the comments if you guys want me to try to catch up on some Michigan gun control stuff, because there is a lot of it getting introduced. And yeah, I feel bad I haven't been able to do more videos lately. I'm just trying to survive. And you know what sucks is I actually like doing this more than many other things I have to do to make a living. And, it sucks. Yeah, being out for a day and a half. Oh, dude, your back hurting. That's just brutal, period, man. See, I don't know. There's some mixed reports on what might have actually happened to this. We'll say guy, if that's what it is. I mean, do any of these people even know the difference anymore? Jeez, oh, please don't get me started on this. You guys have heard me tell you the Supreme Court justice story a lot of times. Maybe we'll save that one for next week. I mean, it wrecks chainsaws. Oh yeah, my two-stroke stuff, my small equipment, my backpack blowers, chainsaws, weed whackers. I've been running that on wreck fuel for years now. You know, with the appropriate 2-cycle oil for two-stroke stuff. But now I'm just running, it's called wreck fuel, no ethanol. I've been enjoying getting it at the local BP station, you know, which is considered to be top fuel or whatever the. I can't believe I'm having a brain fart. There's a classification for like all gas stations. Fuel isn't the same. I think, is it called top fuel, or one of you guys are gonna have to bail me out on that. But anyways, BP usually has decent gas, you know, mobile places like that, and I've been buying the wreck fuel, $5 a gallon. So yeah. Drain the swamp. Just remove the ethanol. No, I hear you, man. I was just complaining about that ethanol. And this goes to show where, look, I get it. 90% of my viewers are Republicans, okay? And I'm not trying to sit there and get into some political party battle. Most of my friends that are into parties tend to be Republicans, okay? I don't really have many, maybe one or two kind of like Democrat friends, if you will, but not much. But at the same time, here's the problem with the Republicans. Okay, they're all about, you know, Iowa and the corn lobby, more ethanol, more ethanol, more ethanol. Trump's putting in an order that they can now sell 15% ethanol, okay, in lieu of just like regular unleaded gas. So, like, man, that's a thing. That ethanol is not good in your fuel. It's just not. Look, here's a way to look at this. Even if you have a modern engine that all the seals are rated for it, don't let your vehicle sit very long, though. It's hygroscopic, so it literally sucks in water. Go watch videos about this. There's plenty of info. What I'm telling you guys is like literally common knowledge, okay? It sucks up the atmospheric water. You'll get a bunch of water in your tank. So even if it's a brand new car that, quote, can burn it, don't let it sit for a couple months. Not advised. I wouldn't even think about it. Older car, you're screwed. Carbureted engines, screwed. But that's a big thing. So you got Whitmer keeping us on winter gas, okay? Totally screwing us over there in the state of Michigan. Trump's bragged, and you guys can look all this up. It's common knowledge. He's bragging that starting the beginning of May, they'll be able to start substituting the current 10% ethanol that we have in most fuel, unless you spend way more per gallon, like I'm choosing to right now, because I can't afford new engines in all my equipment. And by the way, I'm not spending any more money because, yeah, I'm spending like 20% more on the fuel, but with the garbage fuel they're putting in, I'm gonna lose that by having an inefficient combustion. So, but now you've got Trump coming in and the Republicans, and they're like, more corn, more ethanol, and they're just pouring it in our fuel. So I don't know. You picked your poison, and I know this is a Second Amendment channel, so you know a lot of people are like, dude, I'm voting on the Second Amendment. I totally get that. I was just complaining why I have to work so much because you're spending all this extra money because of all this crap going on. And it just sucks that it has to be that way. Like, why does Trump have to be promoting ethanol so much? I know the farmers in parts of the Midwest, the grain belt, you know, all that area, there's heavy lobbying when it comes to that. So that might be part of it. But yeah. Guns and Guava, I'm still looking into it. That's what made me stop by the 2A EDU. Yeah, man, I don't want to give you guys fake news because this is still developing, but there's a few things with this not making any sense. EV3 Dale, I stopped putting ethanol in my small engines and haven't had the constant problems that I had. Bingo. I'm putting it in my power washer now, the rock fuel, the lawnmower, just everything, really. Red Pine, what's happening? Says, do you think the FRT and high cap mag ban will get passed here in Michigan? Democrats get the trifecta again? Probably. The Attorney General's already trying to essentially ban FRTs. That's a whole interesting topic in and of herself. So do I think they will? Here's the quick answer. The Republicans, some Republicans, including Speaker of the House Matt Hall, has voted for gun control. It's on the record. It's a proven fact. Will they play defense on some things? Sure, while they've got control of the House, the Republicans. However, so let me put it to you this way. If the Democrats get the trifecta again, meaning governorship, okay, Michigan House, Michigan Senate, yes, expect many things. Will they get the trifecta? Probably. They're going to march John James out there. Okay, the dude's lost in statewide elections many times. To say I would be disenchanted about seeing him on the ballot, we'd put it very, very mildly. But let me be blunt with you guys. Don't forget to hit the thumbs up, because here's where I'm going to get a couple of thumbs downs. Because there's a lot of that whole, like, you better toe the line to AED. No, man, I'm going to be myself with everybody. I ain't voting for John James. So there you go. Now, am I going to vote for, let's say, Jocelyn Benson or the Democrat? No. And this is where somebody chimes in. I totally get it, man. I'm like, we can still be friends, guys. I promise. I'm just giving you my opinion. This is where someone always comes in and says, if you don't vote for John James for governor, whoever the heck they march out there, you know how this is going to work. That means you voted for, let's just say, Jocelyn Benson. If you didn't vote for the Republican, you voted for the Democrat. It's actually not true, though. You literally have to look at like how math works, and like, and I'm not demeaning anybody here, but you have to take like 3 ink pens. This is my Olight pen. It's actually a good pen. You put your pens here, and you move one over to this column, one over to that column, and the other one you put in the middle, and do that several times. You'll actually literally be able to prove. I'm not joking, guys. I promise. I've had to show this to people in real life. Like, when you just opt out and you're not going to vote for a certain part of the ticket because you're just tired of the lesser of two evils, let's just say. And look, I'm not suggesting you guys do this, but if you were to be, just you're tired. I'm not going to do the lesser of two evils. There's no way in hell I'm voting for this Democrat, and I'm sick of this crap. I ain't voting for the Republican either. It's literally statistically proven that you not voting on that particular line item on the ballot is not the same as voting for the Democrat. So just keep that in mind. But with that said, I'm not switching to Democrat. I'm not switching to anything, okay, guys? But there's several Republicans that are going to end up showing up on this ballot that I ain't going to vote for. And there's a lot of people that are just going to stay home. It's not a presidential election. They're always down on the votes anyways. I will say this about my Republican friends. I believe Republicans are a bit more honest in the way they vote, okay? If there was some shady business going on, I think there's been overwhelming evidence that does tend to happen more on the Democrat side. So there is that for sure. And just a lot of people are like, no, dude, you just keep marching John James up here. He's lost for Senate this many times. You're going to bring Mike Rogers back again. It's going to be Mike Rogers again. It's going to be John James again. It's just after a while, and everybody has their own threshold. I might be the only one here tonight that says, but at a certain point, I'm like, I've just had enough of you people. Okay? No John James, no Rogers. It's just like, it's just, no. No Jocelyn Benson either, okay? Maybe Duggan will come in and play this big spoiler. It's 18D chess. I don't know, man. 30-60 chess. I don't know. If I were to opine, and this is not me wishing for this, okay? I don't wish the Democrats to be in charge, but if I were to opine, I think there's a good chance the Democrats take back the trifecta in Michigan again. And if that's the case, look out. Because they do what they promise. Republicans will not repeal red flag in the House. They won't do it. It appears they won't do it no matter what. They're never, ever going to do anything to help us, actually. But the Democrats, they promise they're going to go after the Second Amendment. They will do it. Don't take my word for it. Look at the Republicans winning the Michigan House. They won't repeal anything. Now, I get it. The governor wouldn't sign it. It wouldn't go through the Senate. But it would get me more eager to go out and actually vote. It'd get me more eager to try to talk my friends into voting. And I'd have some stats to back it up. I'd say, look, man, this Republican House has been repealing all these gun control laws. If we can just flip the Senate and governorship, these will be repealed. I can't say that. They're not giving me anything. You know, I want to cheerlead for them. I want to help them out if they're going to be pro Second Amendment. My quiver is empty and they're not giving me any arrows. It's like, well, okay, people. I guess they just don't care about the Second Amendment vote. That's just my opinion at this point. And I'm not saying I want it to be true, but in my opinion, there's a very good chance Democrats are just going to sweep everything in Michigan. And when the Republicans hold the trifecta, they don't repeal gun control. I mean, $0 tax stamp, but we've talked about that a lot. It's still a tax stamp. And this is on the federal level. In Michigan, they're not even thinking about repealing anything. Democrats, they run on this. They say, if you elect me, I will do more common sense gun safety measures. Some of them in like real left-leaning districts, they don't even do that political speak anymore. They just say, I'm coming for the guns. I'm coming for all of them. If you elect me, I'll ban everything. And they get elected on that. And that is where the Democrats do tend to be a little more honest with their voters. You guys know what I'm saying? I'm trying to be real here. And this is not an easy conversation to have, but the Democrats do tend to be a little more honest to their voters. They say, now look, they're not honest at all. None of these people are honest. So just that's what we're starting with. None of these people are honest. However, with that said, they tend to be just a bit more honest. Because they say we're coming after the Second Amendment, and they do actually vote for gun control, and they pass it. Like, look at Virginia, how quickly, when the Dems got the trifecta back, they're passing it right now. In Michigan, when it happened 2 years ago, they passed it. And I believe if they get the trifecta, I don't want them to, I'm not saying, but they probably will. I listen to what they're saying because they're actually going to do it. You can't trust anything they say, but when it comes to this, you do actually trust. You know what I'm saying? You can listen to 1,000 things they say. Don't believe it. Don't believe. When it comes to this, you best believe it. Like, literally, you believe that. So, I don't know, man. It's tough. Oh, yeah, they're diluting the gas already, DB Cooper. Well, we're on winter fuel right now, see? They say gas would have gone up 20 cents higher in Michigan. If Gretchen, this according to her, if she hadn't come in to save the day, just think about this. You were born, you thought you were in America, didn't you guys? And if you live in the state of Michigan, you woke up one day and Gretchen Whitmer's here to save you? Are you kidding me right now? With friends like that, who needs an enemy? I mean, these people are atrocious. They said she kind of like started on her knees in life and worked her way up, and she's still kind of sort of trying to keep this very family friendly. There's many nicknames for this governor of Michigan, so many I can't even say them all out loud. You guys can, chime in. But the governor of Michigan says, look, I'm saving all of you. Gas would be up 20 cents higher than it is, but I'm keeping you on winter fuel. Your gas mileage drops to nothing. It ruins your small engines. This is a nightmare. I'll take a little more butane in my fuel for my carbureted engine that relies on things like barometric pressure and needle jets, and it's like come on. No thanks. Not when it's going to be like 90 degrees out, and she's keeping us on winter fuel, winter gas. Look up winter gas if you guys want to know what I'm talking about. There's a whole thing to it until at least the beginning of July. But now she's coming out and saying, well, she might just extend it longer than that. Oh, great. Great. Sorry, guys. I'm still recovering from whatever the heck this crap is. It's not natural, though. You can just feel it. Like, whatever I caught, this is not natural. It's some kind of something. Something probably grown in a lab, if I were to guess. Yeah, the video showed him moving and handcuffed. He is apprehended. That's what I'm thinking, Martin. But I thought I heard the president say they got him between the eyes, I think he said, and something about him running into a hail of bullets. It's like, well, and look, I'm not saying I'm not like starting conspiracies, but it's not adding up yet. Now, if tomorrow it starts to make less sense, we might be back down to another conspiracy again, guys. But I'm going to give it a little more time because this is normal. When stuff's first breaking news in the first few hours, it's a little different. But if it starts getting more confusing every day and a week from now, that's what it's going to be like. Yeah. Ethanol plugs your catalytic converter. I mean, I'm not a fan of ethanol. Yeah, you drain the swamp. What's happening, dude? He says you can take the ethanol out of the fuel with water and food coloring. Yes, you can. There's videos on how to do that. I ain't got time for that, though. You know, that sucks. But no, you're right. That's good. Thanks for sharing that. I just have to get my lawns cut and get my landscaping done. So I'm just paying at the pump right now. Top tier. Thank you, Victor. That's the word I was looking for. I'm super far behind in the chat. Let me catch up. Synergy. There you go. Martin says, any more word on the legality of FRTs in Michigan? What I've heard sounds contradictory. It does to me too. I don't want to give anybody legal advice, okay? But it's like real shady. Imagine like a really gray, stormy day and you're standing under a shade tree. That's how shady it is. I have some personal opinions on it. But I'm going to say this. Now, you're going to think I'm being a prick for a minute here, but I'm not, dude. It's because I do like you and other people that are listening. I'm not going to say much more about that because I don't want to give people bad advice, okay? I do have my opinions on it, though. Let me see if I can do some more research. I do want to talk about this FRT issue. And I'm pretty sure I know what the deal is, what the legality is, but I'm just not quite sure. So I might sound like a terrible thing. I'm not shining you on like to be a prick. I'm just saying it's complicated. Okay, I'll just leave it at that. And I know what I'm doing and how I'm living my life considering what I think it is, but I'm not sure. There you go, man. It's kind of embarrassing to say that, but, you know, these are people's lives at stake. This is possibilities of people going to prison. So I'm just not going to say anything because I'm just not 100% sure. And here's the thing, guys. This isn't me just like, oh, gosh, I'm a babe in the woods. No, I've actually studied this whole thing with Dana Nessel, guys. She wrote a letter. Maybe I should do a video talking about this. Maybe in a future live stream, we can talk about it more together. I don't have the letter in front of me. But here's the problem. I've read it many times, okay? And the more times I read it, I'll think I'm kind of honing in, but it just gets more convoluted. So it's not because of my lack of effort. It's because I have tried to get to the bottom of this issue so much. Still tends to leave me a little bit more confused. That's not the way it's supposed to be. You're not supposed to be so confused about whether you're going to be a felon or not that you just opt out of everything. You shouldn't have to fear your government. This is the definition of a tyrannical government. This topic right here, man, is the pure definition of a tyrannical government. Many, many smart people are trying to figure this exactly out, and still nobody knows exactly enough to bet, possible years in prison on it. That's a tyrannical government. You're supposed to know what the laws are in your country, and in the United States of America, the right to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed. You're not even allowed to have gun control at all. We shouldn't even be talking about this. There shouldn't be a two-way EDU channel. But they are, and there is. Top tier. Yep, Dale. I'm like 12 minutes behind. Let me catch up to these comments real quick, guys. What's up? How's it going, Colin? A lot of your names are showing up different. I try to remember what your names used to be. You're not affiliated, but you're from Iowa. Look, shout out to you, man. Don't take that personal. I'm just saying that's a big deal in Iowa. People in Iowa want more ethanol in the fuel. I don't like ethanol in the fuel. Look, dude, I live in Michigan, man. So trust me, like I'm sure you have a lot to say about the ridiculousness that goes on in this state, but you don't hold it against me. I'm not holding it against you. And I don't think you're a corn farmer, but even if you're a corn farmer, man, we're still friends. Like, I get it. I'm just disappointed that they're shoving it all into our fuel. Okay, so a lot of you guys know exactly what I'm talking about. Like, this is a Second Amendment channel. We can't do guns while we're live, so at the moment, it's not a gun channel. But I did get a new carry piece. The next time I can go on Locals and do my censorship-free stream there, I'll also probably do it on Rumble. I can show you guys a brand new one that I haven't even taken out of the box yet. Just can't do it on YouTube while you're live. But yeah, you guys know what I'm talking about. I mean, there's some cool chicks that watch this channel sometimes, but this is mainly like a man's channel, and guys like to talk about, you know, our God-given rights and guns and fuel and engines, and you know what I'm saying. Yeah, running non-ethanol, I get it. It'll be a choice. If you want to take the chance with 15, go for it. No, you're right, man. There is a choice, and I'm choosing to spend $1.10 more a gallon for the rock fuel. I get it. It just sucks that my choices are like super high gas or really high gas, and then the rest to my equipment. Not two good choices. Okay. 88 fuel, garbage. I would not use 88 fuel. You guys do what you got to do. In my opinion, that crap ain't going into any of my stuff. And I work on all my own stuff, and I've owned a small business for 25 years. Am I a mechanic of sorts? Actually, yeah, I've been fixing all my stuff. Some of you guys are mechanics, though, that do this 40 hours a week. Some of you guys do it 80 hours a week. Some of you are way smarter than me on all this. So I'm not purporting to be an expert on any of this. I'm probably somewhere in the middle, okay? I think I know more about this just from experience. Been there, done that. For many years, I've owned more engines almost than I can count over the years, right? And a lot of you have too. Some of you guys are like an E. You're like, dude, I would fail at small engines. I just don't do that. Cool. That's cool, man. Some of you guys would get an A+. I'm probably like a C. I'm in the middle. You know what I mean? So I have a lot of experience with this stuff, but some of you guys are, you know, just do your thing, but there are risks. There are risks with this fuel, and think about it. Random guy from Oz. What's happening, man? I'm going to try to catch up on these chats, guys. My voice is going. My throat doesn't hurt. I'm not in pain. My voice is going, though. This just reminds me too much of that Kung flu. And then the ticks right now. Oh, my gosh. I could go on with ticks. I'm not going to go on about the ticks. Don't even get me started about the ticks. All right. There's a lot to the ticks. I think some of you know what I'm talking about. There's a lot to this with these ticks. It's very sinister, too. Ryan Kelly, I've met him in real life, Dale. I've actually had dinner with him once. Like, literally sat from me to you away, meaning like the screen. Well, I've had dinner with you, too, Dale. So, no, I've met him like in real life when he wasn't like on a stage. And Ryan Kelly seemed like a good constitutionalist. Then there's John James, you know. Garen Wilson says parties do not matter. Hey, some of you guys are definitely in that camp. If I had to guess, this chat's probably going to skew at least 75% Republican, I think. A lot of Democrats don't like me. There might be a couple Democrats watching right now. If there is, you know, what's up, man? You know, if there's any Democrats usually don't like me too much. That's the thing, guys. I have a lot of Republican friends, okay? You know, friends that vote Republican is what I'm trying to get at. I know a lot of Republican politicians. You know, it's just kind of like, I don't know, man. I don't really belong in this exact system we have. That'd be a good idea, Drain the Swamp. Search him up, man. What's up, Denny's Plant-Based Journey? How you doing? What's up, Denny? Oh, by the way, me and Lindsay recorded that video of that generous gift you gave her like a month ago, and she was excited about it. I haven't had time to edit it. My life's been in complete disarray for about a month now. So I'll give you guys the teaser. She appreciates it, Denny. And you'll see the video. We recorded the video. I just haven't had time to like do the edits. Meaning like just trim the beginning and end off of it and, you know, change it over to the correct format for YouTube. That's what I mean by edit. Denny sent my daughter a gift, guys, if you want to know what I'm talking about. And I do some videos with my daughter, and I just put them up for channel members, and I put them on Patreon, and then for my local supporters. So you have to pay money to watch me and my daughter do videos. No, that's not it at all. You guys donate in many different ways to help keep the channel going. And me and my daughter like to do videos together. I'm a protective dad. Okay? Are you guys surprised? I'm a protective dad. I believe the world's evil. And when she gets married, it'll be her husband's job to save her, to protect her. But her soul will be saved by Jesus. I mean, physically. Okay? But I'm pretty old school. It's pretty clear cut. When a daughter, before she gets married, it's her father that's supposed to protect her. Then when she gets married, it's her husband. I mean, duh. And I don't want my daughter just out on like the quote public internet. So we like to do videos together. She's really outgoing. She likes a lot of you. Some of you have met her in real life, hanging out at Pillbox's house. So it's kind of one of those things where I'm like, yeah, it's a cool thing for us to do together, but I ain't putting her out on just like the generic internet with me. I have a lot of haters. I have a lot of whatever. So that's what I was talking about today, guys. And sometimes you guys will send her stuff, and she enjoys doing unboxings and reviews together. But that's why it's behind the paywall. It's just to get the audience down in size, okay? And most likely, not always, but like it drastically reduces the chance of some like complete hater that's threatening me, because I get threats on here and all this stuff. Usually it's not your supporters that are doing that, so that's why. I know somebody got kind of frustrated with me a month ago. They're like, you're only doing, you know, channel member videos. I'm like, no, just having fun with my daughter doing videos. And I posted a couple of them. I'm like 3 or 4 videos behind on getting them edited and published, though. Let's see here. Speaking of channel members, N8IWS. Same people running the Republican Party. We're doomed. Last dance. Yeah, they propped up someone who didn't have a chance. I know, dude. It is frustrating. Because the few good ones, and there seems to be very few nowadays, the few good ones out there do generally happen to be Republicans, okay? But they just keep propping them up. So there you go. It's going to be... I think it's probably going to be a Democrat check back in Michigan. And I ain't going to vote for none of these Democrats, guys. You have my word on that. I will not be voting for Democrats. Martin says, I can't vote for anyone who will look you in the eye and tell you they will take away your rights. I agree. Vote for Johnny Appleseed James. Ooh, I audited 60,000 companies. There's a lot to John James. Let's see here. I'm trying to catch up, but you guys are real robust in the chat tonight. This is good, dude. I'm 18 minutes behind in the chat. Wow. Wolf. Well, thank you for being a channel member. Says, amazing. Anti-guns is a law, being criminal, anti-constitutional, and pro-communist. That's what I was saying earlier. Communists. Are they going to be peaceful? I mean, how peaceful are they going to be? Not very peaceful. Not very peaceful. Pillbox says, thank you for being a channel member, Pillbox Bunker, as always. He says, I think if there's no cheating, we'll go red. See, and I did say that earlier. I said, that's going to be the close thing because, guys, let's just be honest. all the cheating that's done, that does tend to be a lot more on the one side of the aisle than the other, okay? I mean, that's just kind of been a proven fact. I mean, I think even Garen will probably agree with me on that. And you made it very clear that you're like completely disenchanted with both parties. I'm not talking to politicians, to clarify. I mean, like the way the votes are harvested and these unscrupulous people voting. I think the Dems do have a good lead on that type of activity. Red Pine says, yeah. Well, I'll just give you a thumbs up because I have no idea what you're saying yeah to, because I'm like 15 minutes behind. Probably something I said earlier, someone in the chat. Yeah, in Minnesota, it's got to be real frustrating, Jay Fearless. All government folks in Michigan appear to be weak-minded and cowardly. Minnesota. Yep. Yep, same story, different book. Same trailer, different park, you know? At the end of the day. I used to live in a mobile home. I like trailer parks, actually. So when I say that, it's not a put down at all, but same trailer, different park. You know what I mean? Like, all trailer parks are kind of the same at the end of the day. There's a bunch of scummy people who live in trailers, of course. But here's the thing, though, man. Some of my friends, they're scummy as hell, but they're good people, though. I don't know, man. I don't like everyone that lives in a trailer park, but some of you may look down on me for this. Some of you might know. I've met a lot of good people in trailer parks. I have. I kind of don't like being in trailer parks because I'm more of a country boy and I like to be out in the middle of nowhere. Really, I just don't like neighborhoods at all. But yeah, I don't mind. I don't mind hanging out in the trailer park so much. I lived in one for a while. All right. All tapped out. What's happening? Never, ever vote for a person that doesn't know what a woman is. Oh, I know. Look at the Supreme Court justice. Look at these clowns. What's a woman? I don't know. Nobody knows, they say. Give me a break. Well, one thing, yeah, Tater dot. Well, one thing I'm sure of is there will be cheating. Yeah, there's going to be cheating, okay? Obviously. Paul Bennett says, how's everyone liking the story? Or the stream? I hope you guys are liking the stream. I'm 20 minutes behind in the chat now. See, that's the thing. There's not a lot of people watching right now. But somebody left a comment last week, and they're like, yeah, but to have a smaller group of good people versus like a large group of like whatevers, there's more chat in this stream tonight than I've seen in a long time, actually. Ooh, no, yeah, I agree. Or takes APAC money. Ooh, random guy from Oz. Yeah, actually, I agree. CM Smith says, yeah, it's actually a really good rule of thumb. Yeah. Yeah, I believe COVID was released to give Biden the White House. I mean, it's complicated, but that's part of it, yes. The most popular of all time. His biggest rally he had, there was 4 people there. Look, I've done the whole, I've talked about this. You know, the whole, this is my wife, this is my daughter. Oh, they switch. I mean, give me a break. Got confused. Makes you wonder, too. How could you be confused on which one you've slept with? Unless it's both. I mean, some of this stuff you have to ask these questions. Okay, it's like, well, wait a minute now. It's like wife and daughter, same difference. No, actually, no. Like, you may love them equally, but there's differences. Like, no, wife, daughter, not same thing. Not any kind of normal person, anyways. not same thing, right? I mean, this stuff's just like, it's not even funny. I'm just kind of like chuckling, like, I mean, for him to get them mixed up and like you shouldn't be getting that mixed up. That's not the same relationship, okay? Let's see. Beef, butter, and eggs. Dude, I'm really hungry. I'm trying to catch up on this chat because I'm enjoying it. But I do need to get some food in a minute, and I'm kind of losing my voice. Okay, he was saying the dude from random guy saying the dude from Butler got shot between the eyes. That may have been it. Because he was talking about that. That might have been what we heard. Thanks for. I think you're right. I think you're right, actually. Denny's plant-based journey says it's not like Trump ever fibs and blows smoke during some of his statements, right? LOL. Oh, I mean, no, Denny, not at all. I have to keep the real straight face. Has Trump ever fibbed or blown smoke? No, absolutely not. Never. Wouldn't even consider the thought of it. Trump has never lied to anybody. Jay says the footage I saw indicated that he was physically stripped, everything, implying even his clothes, and taken into custody. I saw a photograph of that where it looked like he was naked. This is weird. All tapped out. Tip of the day. Get the most out of range day when you're not feeling good or DB Cooper. Damn, they dropped the ball on this Iran BS. Tough times ahead for working folks. Oh, I'm real worried about this Iran, guys. This is going to be a nightmare. The Iranians are not going to give up, like at all. I guarantee you. Things could get a lot worse. I've covered all this, Garens. You know how many subscribers I've lost talking about when Trump said take the guns, then due process, bump stock ban. When he called for red flag laws and Pam Bondi was sitting there. You know, they got the bobblehead. Their mouth's always open because, well, you know, their mouth's open. Dude, I've lost so many subscribers talking about this. I mean, it's not even funny, man. I'm probably not very smart. Like, if I was trying to make this channel like some enterprise, like, I'll tell you guys with a straight face, dude, probably 75, 80% of my viewers are pretty strong Republicans. And, you know, I'm friends with all of my viewers, like all of you guys I see tonight anyways. Lots of very friendly people in here. But at the same time, then I'll like rip out Republicans and then I mean, we gain a lot of subscribers on this channel and we lose a lot of them. 28 EDU, I just unsubscribed, they'll tell me. I'm like, why'd you unsubscribe? And they're like, well, you said Trump was like not God. And I'm like, yeah, he's not. Unsubscribe. And then they're back like the next week being like, what the heck? Are you a Democrat? I'm like, nope, not a Democrat. And they're like, unsubscribed again. And I'm like, I thought you already unsubscribed. So here's the problem with these people. They unsubscribe. They tell me why they unsubscribe. Then they complain and they moan and they whine. Now, I'm just going to, you know, you guys can laugh at this, but if there's anybody, there's probably nobody that fits this bill watching right now, but if there is, let me give you a little strategy. Yeah, don't sell all your stock in the company and then try to negotiate afterwards. Just think about this, guys. If I've had this happen once, it's 1,000 times. 2A EDU, I've just unsubscribed. I'm gone. I'm never watching your videos again. In fact, if you even reply to this message, I won't reply back. I literally get this. This happens to me a lot. However, you need to change this, this, and this about your channel. And you need to change this, this, and this. And then they give me this list. Now, look, they've already unsubscribed. They're never, ever coming back. This is according to them. If I were to even reply to them, they're not even going to read it. So I'm like, okay, why would I even, like, he unsubscribed. He's nobody. He's gone. Like, who even cares anymore? Like, how stupid would you have to be? You throw all your cards on the table. No ace left in the hole, okay? and you're still going to try to bluff me on the river? Like, it just doesn't make any sense. It makes no sense at all. But yeah, I've gotten many, many of those types of, we'll just say, discourse, and I'm being very polite. See, I'm nice. Even the people that I don't like, I actually still like them enough to be the discourse where they're like, to AEDU, you're not worshiping a golden statue of Trump. I've unsubscribed. You're persona non grata. Now here's the 10 things you need to do to correct yourself. And I'm like, whatever, dude. You just threw all your chips away. You sold your stock. There's nothing left. You're already gone. I ain't gonna ask you to come back. In fact, you don't even want to talk anymore. I mean, it's crazy, dude. It happens a lot. Dude, the government doesn't want us having FRTs. And I say the government, like colloquially, you know. They're pretty cool, though. If it's something that like we probably should have, that means they definitely don't want. Rare Breed versus Hoffman. I mean, I can't keep track of every single thing with it, but I'm very familiar. Killer Camfu says, wow, it sells no ethanol 87 fuel, but it costs as much as premium or diesel. I get premium for my turbo total ripoff. Okay. Well, all I've got access to is the recreational fuel. Or I can go to a small little airport and get like low lead, like, what is it, low lead 110 octane. A little lead ain't that bad, though, actually. For certain applications, okay, and probably not good for catalytic converters, though. Tasmanian Sasquatch, Zyrtec, Cetrazine or Claritin, wrong time of the year for all that. Dude, I think I got the lab-grown variety. You know, the old gain-of-function type. I mean, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, the seals, the ethanol can destroy seals, yes. And older vehicles. Paul Bennett, he says, we like you too, AEDU. Well, thanks, man. You're actually the only one in here who said they liked me tonight. Wow. And that was 20 minutes ago. Top tier, totally worth it. Yeah. We've talked about top tier earlier for sure. All right, the 88 fuel, JR's not messed with it. I'm not going to mess with it myself. Lyme disease, Victor says. Dude, I heard there's a new jab coming out for that too. And there's just a lot to this. Okay. I'm going to skim past some of these chats, guys. I'm just trying to. John James, it's late in the stream. When it gets, I'll try to talk about him more, okay? It's just late in the stream for me to really get too deep into that, okay, Jay? And maybe there's some people in the chat that have come in and, you know, told you about some of his stuff. There is actually, like, there's some subject matter there. And he's practicing identitarian politics, okay? And he's been a rhino in so many different ways. And there's just, man, it's a good question. And I don't want to, it's just too late for me to really get into that. Because that's something where I could get going on it for quite a while. We'll just say rhino and not really too good for much. And Daddy, it's all good. It's just something for her. You don't have to show it at all. No, it wasn't for your benefit. No, and I know that. Trust me, I know that, dude. It's just we enjoy doing those videos together. The world is rough and it's really hard on kids. Just got to help her have a better day once in a while. That's the truth, man. This world is tough. And it is really hard on kids nowadays. You're right on that. That's why we need good people protecting and being good role models for our kids, because there's many people evil, and that's the only thing, that's the only hope we have, is that our kids will grow up and be better than we are, right? I mean, I say as good as us with certain things, but no better we want. You know, that almost sounds like a joke. Like these kids nowadays, no, I totally get it. These kids nowadays suck as a whole. Like if you just say it. But on an individual level, there's some good ones. And I know a lot of you guys have done or currently are doing a good job raising your kids. And I appreciate that. I might never even meet you guys or your families, but if you're raising good kids, I appreciate it as a fellow American because I'm totally disenchanted with my government. That's for sure. Disagreements make for great discussions. I didn't really see anybody disagreeing too much tonight in here. I don't think so. Yeah, I mean, that whole Virginia thing, JR, I'm pretty much caught up on chat already. Wow. Says, yeah, it's hard to see Virginia legitimately vote to gerrymander their voting districts without cheating. But I know they try to mislead people in voting for fair elections. Oh, the way they word these ballot initiatives and proposals should be criminal. You guys know what I'm talking about. Even the ones in Michigan that have passed. To say it's misleading is an understatement. Dude, there's scummy people that live in mansions like crazy, Denny. I completely agree. Nah, dude, there's scumball people all over the joint. But I've actually, some of my best friends that I still have to this day, I've met in trailer parks. It's always like the thing, right? I don't know where you guys live and stuff, but, you know, kind of like me growing up and stuff, it was always like, you know, people rip on trailer parks and trailer trash. And I mean, look, there's a reason. Everyone there's not, you know, always on the up and up. I'm not naive, guys, like at all. But I don't know, man. I got a little trailer trash in me, is what I'm trying to say. Not a lot, but a little bit. The bet I can offer up. Yeah, and here's the other thing with John James. Just remember this, guys. First of all, I'll give you an example with some of the key legislation that Trump put forth, okay, that I actually did support. He was against him on a lot of it. Okay. Now, there's been a lot of stuff the Republicans have put up I wasn't for, but he's just another. And this is what's most important when it comes to me. I don't think it's too promising in Michigan here. If a lot of you are wanting the Republicans to flip everything, right? John James has been trotted out there a couple times now in a statewide race for Michigan, for United States Senate in the state of Michigan, right? United States Senate, and he's lost both times to like crappy candidates too. Barely won his United States House race. They just keep like they like to just put like retreads out there and just keep putting dead meat back up. It's just kind of like after a while, it's like, are you guys trying to lose? Because trust me, I don't want Jocelyn Benson. I would love to see a Republican, as rare as it is, and it is rare, for me to actually get excited about. Trust me, if there was a pro-Second Amendment Republican I was super excited about, because it's so rare nowadays, I would like to have a reason to be like, well, this guy might actually be okay. Now, I'd still only believe half of what the good ones say, but hey, you know. But you know, oh, geez. Just these people are garbage. So many of them. Carnivores. I do like meat. I mean, I eat some plants too, guys. I'm the type that likes. For example, I had pot roast, you know, the other day. Pot roast with broccoli. I mean, you guys know I'm not a vegetarian, right? Like, look at me. Probably don't have the build for a vegetarian, but I'm not strictly carnivore either. CM Smith says, I was just saying that when you were talking about losing viewers. No, I hear you. I mean, whatever. It is what it is. Here's the thing. They usually come back, though. Like, here's the thing. They're gone, right? Do you guys remember that Taylor Swift song, We Are Never, Ever, Ever Getting Back Together? I mean, I'm not even a Taylor Swift fan anymore. I used to be a Taylor Swift fan when she first came out. She had some good tunes to her, but I'm just saying though, that's what they basically do. They all sing that same Taylor Swift song to me. We are never ever getting back together. And I'm like, oh, miss you so much. And then I shed a tear. If you guys can believe it. Not really, but I pretend I do. But then they're back the next week. They're like, 2AE to you. I just unsubscribed again. You know what I'm saying, Colin? And I'm like, but you already unsubscribed. And they're like, we're never, ever, ever getting back together. And I'm like, I know, but you already said that last week. Well, they just unsubscribed. Todd says Michigan GOP are horrible. They force us to elect Dems. That's what I'm talking about. It pisses me the heck off. It's like, ooh, John James versus Jocelyn Benson. And then I just sit here. Just think about this. You're just like, I'm so excited. John James is on the ballot. Then you look at Johnson Benson. Complete and utter disaster. Garbage. Would you like human excrement or would you like human refuse on your dinner plate, sir? What the heck? So you're making me eat crap? No, you have a choice. You can have refuse or excrement. Take your choice. And you're like, can I just get a piece of bologna? Shut up, plebe. You have two choices. You have choices. This is democracy, as they all say. See, that's the problem. They all say democracy. If we could get that constitutional republic back, representative constitutional republic back, if we could. But no, they're like, oh, you have choices, all right. You can have poo or poop for dinner. And you're like, did you just say the same thing? No. I said P-O-O, poo, or poop. And you're like, but what's the difference? It's like, I don't know. The more things change, the more they stay the same, I guess. I get it. The one pile of poop, they just ate vegetables for a week, okay? Jocelyn Benson ate like a bunch of corn on the cob, if you know what I mean, and a bunch of Taco Bell. Hers probably does stink a little more, but like, does anybody's poop smell like roses? Are you really wanting it? I mean, I guess it depends how bad you want it. But they'll put this one retread up there and say, well, this is a Republican. And you're like, what? Could have fooled me. But then you look at the Dem and they're Antifa. So now you're thinking to yourself, whoa. And then the whole debate starts, the lesser of two evils. And it just goes on and on and on. And it's like, just put John James up again, I guess. Just if you put him up 86 times, eventually, well, this is how stupid most voters are. You guys know this. He will finally probably win governor when he's like 86. Have you noticed that like everybody that's running this country is like in their 80s or 90s? Shout out to old people, like, of course. I like a lot of old people, but like old people running the country like that old? I don't know, man. Keep in mind, look how old Biden was or is. Look how old Trump is. It's just on and on and on. So there you go. There's my prediction. John James ain't going to win crap. But if he was like 85 years old, then he probably would somehow win. Go figure. We'll be looking at, But here's the thing, though. There could be this third party candidate coming in. Duggan can come in and, hey, guys, here's the thing. Like, John James could win, though. Don't get me wrong. Keep your hopes up, guys. He could win. Because there is this chance of like a spoiler. So hold on a minute. John James is completely doomed to not be governor of Michigan unless there's a spoiler. See, I told you guys this. There ain't too many chicks that watch this channel, let's face it. But the ones that do, okay, the ones that do are the good ones. So there you go. You're getting all the limelight right now, Rosie, because earlier I'm like, look, essentially at this point, since I've talked about repealing the 19th Amendment like a lot here, I've ran off most of the women. I said, for the most part, you know, but the ones that are here, though, okay? Look, guys, if there's a chick still in here, a woman in here at this point, she's a good one. So nice to see you, Rosie. And I mean that as a compliment. You know that I do. Thank you for being a channel member. Yeah, Jason, I did notice that both teams seem to insist upon putting their weakest players and sidelining the most capable candidates. There you go. Bingo. I'm feeling a little bit better, Rosie. You know, I'm just kind of, I don't know. I was just thinking about myself being like a marionette and a zombie, just playing like, you know. I can't sing the Taylor Swift songs I want to. I mean, I'm kind of a Swiftie a little bit. I went to the daddy-daughter dance with my daughter 2 years ago, and it was a Taylor Swift theme. I've seen Taylor Swift in concert twice. It's been years ago now. The first time I saw her was probably 15, 17 years ago. Whenever she came out with that Tim McGraw song, and that was her only album, I saw her do like her first tour. She was like the first opening act. She was like the first opening act, then there was one more opening act, and then I think it was Brad Paisley at that time on the top of the ticket. It's been a while. I used to go to a lot of country concerts. And then me and my wife and my brother and his wife saw her up at the, gosh, where was that? Ford Field. That's probably also been 15 years ago-ish. 14 years ago? I don't remember. Yeah, I've been to a couple Taylor Swift concerts. I'm not really like a true Swiftie, though. I'm kind of like maybe a little bit of a, I don't know. Like, I'll still listen to some of her older music. When she like changed genres, I don't really listen to her that much anymore. Really none of her new stuff at all. But I'll still go back every once in a while. But here's the problem with Taylor Swift, though. She does actually suck, too. She just sits and keeps crying about the same messed up relationships over and over again. It's like, dude, like, just stop. Garage Guy 879. Hello there. Hey, what's happening, man? Nice to see you. But you guys know what I'm saying, though, a little bit. I mean, I'm not like a hardcore Swiftie at all, but a little bit. And no, I don't like her politics either. And she does whine and whatever. I mean, yeah. Dude, I just lost another subscriber. They'll be back. Don't worry. Wow. See, here's the thing always with Taylor Swift. She would have been all right back in the day. The problem is she's post-wall now. But I'm saying back in the day, if she would have put on the right apron with like a little polka-dotted skirt, I would have enjoyed sitting here watching her sweep the floor for me and cooking food. And you know what I'm saying? Suds in the bucket, clothes hanging out on the line, you know, that type of scenario. And basically what I'm getting at is to put her in a little like polka dotted little like skirt with like, you know, her head and face mostly, her face showing, but like her head mostly covered in like a bonnet. You know what I'm talking about? With like the bonnet on and a nice grade 43 trucker chain going from the washroom to the kitchen with the shackle around her ankle. Look, I'm not saying to keep her captive. She has plenty of room to move. She can move from doing my laundry to you know, cooking me dinner. And then let her loose a couple times a day. Not too far, though. Don't let her cut her hair without your permission, guys. Don't ever do it. Once you let her cut her hair without your permission, it's all downhill. So I'm not saying letting her do radical, crazy stuff like cutting her hair without asking you. I'm saying, be strict with her, but give her a little liberties. She's allowed to go into the bedroom, in the morning to make your bed for you. And then when it's time to lay down at night, if you know what I'm saying, she can go lay down for you for a little bit on her back only. I mean, I kind of liked her in that way a little bit. Like she could cook and clean and stuff like that. Someone's like, "Oh my gosh, 280, you're a misogynist." I'm like, dude, I'd let the shackles off her ankles like twice a day. Okay, I'd let her make my bed. Stuff like that. I mean, geez, how much more nice could I be to these people? They're ungrateful is the problem. No, you're right, Denny. No, you're right. All these people, these pundits, these politicians, because yeah, it's crazy how many times these people are supposed to be political leaders don't know the difference between democracy and constitution and republic. Most of them are socialists and worse. No, I completely agree. I kind of looked at Taylor Swift years ago as more of the house mouse type. Did I have a bad read, guys? I'm just saying back in the day when she was, I don't know. That's okay, though. Me and her never became friends, so it's all a moot point. Wolf says, good chance that King George III is the least admired greatly by anti-gun followers, but for others, is one of their heroes, being honored, possibly even worshipped, though having failed. Haha. No, you're right. They'll follow him, and well, people worship a lot of false gods, actually. Worship is kind of the right wording. You did not see me there, Drain the Swamp. I do not listen to rap music, guys. That made me laugh, but I'm still trying to get over this sickness. You laugh and it instantly goes into a cough. There's my girl, Rosie. Not easily offended. Women today can't take a joke. Yeah, I know. And I have like this dry sense of humor where I'm like, you guys know what I'm saying? She'd have a little bonnet on her head and her polka dot skirt, and she'd get to freely frolic back and forth between the laundry room and the stove. You know what I'm saying? I mean, All right. Fun to Learn says, good night. Got to get my 90. I'm going to bed in like 2 seconds myself. Good night, man. Thank you for being a channel supporter. Fun to Learn. Colin says, what? You lost a subscriber? For being semi-Swifty? I know, dude. I'm totally like milk toast fence setter on her. Because I am. Like, I admit it. I'm a little bit of one. But, like, I am definitely not. Like, I'm not officially in the fan club. Can't afford it. I have to buy top-tier ethanol-free wreck fuel. Here's the problem, dude. I had to let my Taylor Swift membership lapse. Just shows you where we're at right now in society. I get it, man. Some people are like, dude, I just couldn't keep the 2A Edu channel membership going much more. I do need 2 more local supporters if anyone would like to help out over there so we can keep the streams going. But I get it, dude. I had to let my Taylor Swift fan club membership last. We'll get there eventually, guys. We'll get there. We can just end this war in Iran. Victor Miller says, you haven't lost. I'm just fighting sleep. Once again, thank you. You're welcome. Good night, dude. And I am getting ready to jump off in 2 seconds. Well, hold on, Denny. Hold on. He says she probably hasn't seen the kitchen in her house. Her house is. I don't know. No, I know she hasn't, dude. I totally get it, but I just kind of pictured her like that for a little bit. But probably not. Wolf says, agree big time. The system has also pushed the democracy while never mentioning the Constitution or Republic, which is why my voice is totally shot. And I should have been in bed by now. But I'm still hanging out with you guys because it's nice to know there's some other sane people out there, isn't it? It is. That's why I like doing these streams. I truly mean that, guys. And I hope you guys enjoy that too. Not me, the chat, you know? And then again, shout out to the replay crew. Leave your comments if you're still watching on replay, but there's something just kind of nice about just seeing normal people that aren't, you know, retard. And we're in the minority, man, but you ain't the only one. All of you guys watching that get it, we're in the vast minority, but you're not the only one. Todd says, regarding Trump, do people feel the only way to change things is with violence? Do we have no other options? I think like communists and stuff like that, dude, they tend to just do violent takeovers, period. Look at the violent takeover of the Bolsheviks in Russia. Look at the violence the communists did during World War I in Germany. Not succeeding, but lots and lots of violence. I mean, I have some of the very first Soviet currencies right here. I've talked about this many times. This is the hammer and sickle. The Bolsheviks took control of Russia during the October Revolution of 1917, establishing the Russian Socialist Federated Soviet Republic, a precursor to the USSR. This undersized note was among the first issues of the new communist government. Then you go on, you know, you look at Marxism, Leninism, Stalinism, all just slightly different flavors of the same poison. You go on to Mao, Maoist China. Hundreds of millions of people murdered. So, look, we do have other options. And if you want to know my personal options, we have Jesus. I believe that through Jesus, I might be saved. But as far as these people, man, I don't know. If you're talking to a guy like me, I don't want violence. But the problem is the world ain't full of people just like me and just like you. That's what sucks. No, Taylor Swift complains a lot, Jay Fearless. I get it, man. That's why I'm only a semi-Swiftie. And I kind of listen to, you know, I listen to pretty much all types of music as long as it's like country, western, or bluegrass too. And she's kind of gone away from country music. Yeah, me and her have lots of issues now. I have a very strained and frustrated fandom, which not really much of it at all, actually, though. What's up, Randy Smith? Nice to see you. What's happening, man? Rosie says, what do you think about Hudson? He's running as a libertarian. When things get closer, we need to talk about Governor more, because I do need to jump off. I've liked a lot of the things he said, but he throws up some red flags, and I have some concerns. I did not see that drain the swamp. And Lyle Smith, what's happening, Lyle? Call Alan from Cali has guns and knives. How does that happen? Just ban them all, right? And then that'll never happen again. One of the biggest lies ever. Wolf says, so President Trump sacrificed his new golf ball assortment he was going to purchase. I do not know about that. All right, guys. Well, I've had fun. It's been 2 hours. I will see you all on here again soon. I need to do more regular videos. And hopefully my voice is all the way back by next week. So good to see all of you, and I'll see you all again very soon. All right. Thanks for watching, and have a good one.